Okay, who's got the first question?
Can you begin to explain that? I mean, 144 to win, it's not a big total, I can understand. It can be intimidating still, but nonetheless, 70 to lose by 72 runs.
Yeah, look, I mean, sometimes those sort of titles are the hardest to chase, really, because you know that you're almost there. And, you know, I suppose there's a kind of, it's easy to get caught between two schools, you know, so whether just to kind of be patient and wait for scoring opportunities to appear or to take the bull by the horns. And, you know, it was obviously, it's bitterly disappointing because we'd worked so hard over the course of the game to get ourselves in a winning position, and you've got to give a lot of, you know, I thought there were some outstanding performances from our side. Monty coming back from the side was superb. Stuart Broad, with both the ball and the bat, you know, did a fantastic job, and Alistair Cook and Jonathan Trott in the first inning batted exceptionally well as well. But, you know, having done all that hard work, you need to go on and complete the job, and you know, we just didn't play well enough individually and collectively.
So and 3 innings out of 4 now in this series, England have fallen short. Can you explain at all?
I think we all know that. You know, we're not going to run away from it. It's disappointing. Individually, you know, we haven't been clear enough about our game plans against the spin. We haven't been clear enough about where our methods, our scoring areas are, and we've allowed pressure to build. And each time a wicket falls, it makes it harder for the next guy coming in. So, you know, but as the batting unit, we've got to hold our hands up and say we haven't done well enough. It's pretty apparent. It's clear. No excuses. We need to be better than that. Well, look, they're not easy because I think you've seen batsmen on both sides finding it hard to find ways of scoring against the spinners. Against, you know, 4 or 5 very good spin bowlers on display in this test match. But, you know, if it was easy, then anyone could do it. That's why it's called test cricket. So it tests you out, your technique and your temperament, and your range of shots. And we haven't come up trumps in this game. And there will be regrets because, as I said before, these are the games that hurt the most, the ones that you feel like you've done everything you can to go on and win the game, and then you aren't able to sort of nail the final nail in the coffin. So it's disappointing. You've got to take it on the chin. We've had a lot of good times over the last couple of years. Pakistan have thoroughly deserved their victory in the series. We've been below where we want to be. And we need to come back and bounce back strongly.
No one can dispute, Andrew, what you've done in the team over the last couple of years and reaching number 1 status and so on. Would you accept that it's almost, I suppose, a true test of the credentials of the world's number 1 team to playing conditions like this against spin bowlers like Pakistan have and actually do considerably better than you managed to do in the first week?
Well, you know, as I said at the start of this tour, this is kind of the final frontier in a lot of ways, the subcontinent. English sides haven't done very well out here in the past. And we came here and approached things pretty positively. I think we felt we've had a great chance to win this series. But, you know, I think the fact that we got rolled over twice in Dubai meant that there was some baggage there going into this final innings. And, you know, Test cricket is hard, and it exposes any vulnerabilities or weaknesses you have. And the good thing is that you can overcome those vulnerabilities or weaknesses, but we weren't able to do it in this game.
Do you have confidence in the players who are here, this team, to do that, taking the next step forward?
Massive confidence. And if you take the point of view, which I think you've got to, that you learn as much from your defeats as you do from your victories, then hopefully we've learned some valuable lessons going forward. You know, as I said, it's not easy in these conditions in these circumstances, but we're good enough players to be able to adjust to the conditions we've encountered.
Andrew, England do play the subcontinent a fair bit, and you've been out to India, Sri Lanka before. Would you suggest then that you haven't learned from those experiences in the past to be able to succeed now, or are you still just trying to search for the right formula and haven't come up with it?
I think, I think in these conditions, in these parts of the world, if you get runs early on in the tour, it makes life a lot easier for you because you get used to it, you spend a lot of time in the middle. But there's no substitute for time in the middle, and so you can do all the practice you like. But ultimately, it's an individual thing that we've all got to be, we're picked to represent England to go out there and score runs as batsmen, and we haven't done that as well as we should have done.
In the test, many sessions you always dominate. And Strauss told us yesterday that when he saw you struggling in the previous season, he decided to come and, counter attack. So do you think today, chasing 142 and you're not going to counter attack? What plans, how do you approach this?
Well, I think, I'm a very strong believer in you've got to play your natural game. And in some ways we're unfortunate that maybe our more attacking players were got out very quickly. So they weren't able to set the agenda, I suppose. But I think it's very important in circumstances like this, and particularly after this game of cricket, to give a lot of credit to Pakistan. I thought they've, in both games of cricket, they've played really well. They've been a good, close-knit unit, and they've got some very good spin bowlers, and ultimately they played better cricket than we did.
Andrew, through the great boots went so well since you got it, and this showed you keeping that progressive. I mean, obviously, we're all growing up, we're not coaching ourselves, and that's how it's very good batting coach himself. But not to have Gucci here when he was struggling.
Well, Gucci was here for the preparation days, but the batting coach doesn't bat for you. Never has done, never will.
Is he coming back out, or will you be on your own?
He's coming out for some of the one days, I think.
Andrew, what happened this afternoon may remind some of us of Jamaica 3 years ago, given the progress you guys have made in the last 3 years. Does this defeat hurt more than that?
I don't know. You don't rank your defeats. It's particularly disappointing to lose a game that you should have won. I mean, Jamaica was a very different set of circumstances, to be honest with you. But yeah, struggle to think of a result or a loss that was hurt more than this. But you've got to experience both sides of the coin in life. We'd love to win every game we play. Sometimes it doesn't work that way, and we've got to find ways of fighting back and making sure that we can reconnect with all the good things we've done over the last couple of years.
How difficult would it be to pick the players up ahead of that 75 dead game now?
Well, as I said before, I think the batsmen need and want to show that we're better than what we've showed so far in this tour. So that's a pretty good motivation for us. I think as a side, collectively, we want to demonstrate that we can play in these conditions, which I'm absolutely certain we can do, because I think, as I said before, we played a lot of good cricket in this game. But we need to make sure we bounce back and hopefully complete a victory in Dubai.
And what role does the RS system play in changing the rules of engagement?
I think it has to a certain extent, and probably if you're looking at it, if you look at the bigger picture, probably for the better. Bring spinners more into the game. I think batsmen have got to be very clear on their method. They can't hide behind their front pad like they used to. And anything that kind of livens up the game of Test cricket, I think, is a good thing. So, but it does change. Technically, you got to change the method and the way you go about things, definitely.
Last question.
When you were reprieved on 16, you called it a short leg. Was that because the ball hadn't carried the catch, or did you consider it to some level of watching?
Well, I didn't think it carried, but I didn't make the decision.
But you had to.
Yeah? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You see that big inside
Who got it?